Hey, what's going on everyone? We have the patch notes for 12.19 for Teamfight Tactics. There are a lot of different changes in this patch. A lot of the good things are going to be pretty much nerfed a little bit. A lot of the bad things are going to be buffed up. I think they actually did a really good job last patch. Let's see if they could follow it up with another banger, but we'll conclude that at the end. So as a summary for the buffs, Dragonmancer getting slight buffs. Mirage, Electric Overload. This was by far my least favorite Mirage, so that makes a lot of sense that they buff it. Battle Mage, Future Sight, Pandora's Bend, Sunfire, Tiamat, Gnar, Swain, Siphon, Zeri, and Shioyu all getting buffs. Adjusting Scale Scorn, Better Together, Hecarim, and Nyla. And then nerfing mages, Astrals, thank God. Base Camp, Celestial Blessing, thank God. Protector's Vow, thank God. Nunu, Rakan, Seraphine, and ZYRA, thank God. Before we celebrate quite yet, let's see how badly the nerfs actually are. They're also reworking Jace and removing Earth Grab Bag and Weak Spots. So I'm actually very surprised by Earth's Grab Bag being removed, but Weak Spot I totally understand. But this one it's actually taken pretty often and it's pretty average, so I don't see what's wrong with that. But I guess they don't want too many spatulas in the game. So let's go on into the large changes. So starting with traits, Astral Openers, yeah, they are problematic. Pretty much everyone's been doing some sort of Econ Opener at the start. So Astral early star level orbs now drop more gold than Astral units. This means that it's slightly harder to upgrade Astral units in stage 2. Perfectly fine nerf. I went over this in my Astral video, my 3-hour Astral video. I'm like, the luxes you get is worth more than 2 gold because you need the lux. Same with like the Vlad Skarner, all that good stuff. Dragon 5 grants, instead of 10 attack speed, it now heals 40 health every second. Pretty good change. Also a new breakpoint, 6 dragons. Holy cow. They'll cause your dragons to ascend. I guess that means like deal the ascension damage. Dragonmancer health is being buffed at 2, 3, and 6 Dragonmancer. 8's remaining the same. That makes sense. Same with ability power. Yeah, Dragonmancers, I feel like they're playable, but you need perfect augments. So hopefully now you could play them with just pretty good augments instead of perfect ones. If you haven't chosen a Dragonmancer hero, a message will now pop up to remind you to do so. Man, I played this game, Lee Sin Dragonmancer, but I used Kaisa as my item holder, and then as soon as I got the Lee Sin, I had to swap him out, sold the Kaisa, put the items on Lee Sin, but it made me forget to actually put the Dragonmancer buff on him. Hilariously enough, I actually won a couple of rounds, but yeah, the reminder definitely nice. Comment below if you've fallen for that as well, but we will not have to deal with that anymore. Dragonmancer. The Dragonmancer Blessing item highlight on PC has been updated to be a different color to better differentiate it from the Lesser Rune of Allegiance item in Double Up. Okay. And then Mirage, Electric Overload. Percent max health damage being upped by 1%. That's actually pretty big. So hopefully that's not a useless Mirage now. Whenever I see that Mirage, like pretty much no one goes it. Scale Scorns can now be played with dragons. I really like this change because Olaf works really well with Siphon because you have bruisers, but then you can't play Scale Scorn. Didn't make much sense. So now you could play it even if dragons are in play, and the damage reduction is being nerfed a little bit to compensate. Same with the Scale Scorn damage, makes perfect sense. I guess the damage is only touched at 6 Scale Scorn, so it's mainly just the health reduction from thick units right now, which is the only downside. So if you are going pure Scale Scorn comps, maybe try to fit in a dragon now because it is going to be weaker if you do not. Or I guess since now you have the option to. Now onto units tier 2. Reroll Gnar guide dropping right now. Dude, I really want that to happen. I've actually seen a 3-star Gnar in a Jade comp. It did alright, nothing crazy, but you'd expect it to do better. So attack speed being buffed, armor bonus is being buffed at 2 and 3-star, and then ZYRA attack speed being lowered. Spell damage being lowered at 1 and 2-star as well. I still think ZYRA is still going to be decent. Obviously, she's going to be casting less because of the attack speed, and maybe the attack damage, attack speed ZYRA is not going to be viable anymore because all the attack speed from Rageblade is being scaled off of this number over here, so it's going to be a lot weaker. They also bug fixed her. She no longer interrupts her cast animation at high attack speed. ZYRA will now pause to finish her cast animation before resuming attacking. Okay, so a couple ZYRA changes there. Units tier 3, Nunu no longer converts his damage to true damage if he has higher health than his target. Consume damage amplification 20% to 40%. So this is perfectly good against Nunu. They're giving counterplay, which is nice. Rakan max mana nerf, 0 to 60 to 15 to 75. Yeah, Rakan's going to be slightly weaker. Rakan, I think, is one of the best tank units right now. Not in terms of tanking, but in terms of utility. So it's like the best support at 3 cost because he's a Mystic, he's a Guardian, and he's a Ragewing, so you could play with Xayah. And then he just CCs so many people. It's incredible. Seraphine max mana nerf, 25 more mana now, and then Serenade of the Seas shield duration is being reduced by 1 second, and then the on-hit damage is being nerfed at 3-star. I am actually very proud of Riot Games right now. They nerfed her 3-star, didn't touch her 2-star apart from the shield duration. So the reason why is because 2-star Seraphine, I actually think it's in a decent spot. Like, yeah, it's good, but a lot of things are good, right? But the 3-star, it felt unwinnable in a lot of different cases. So the only times I'd beat it was if I got like a lucky kill with like an Assassin Nyla and Soam hitting it at the same time and killing the Seraphine, or like I have a different comp that just mows through single target damage, which is really good against this comp because she gives an AoE shield. So it's like a lot of different things have to go your way in order to beat her. And they're nerfing the 3-star version a little bit just so it's more manageable. Obviously, the max mana nerf affects all stages of Seraphine, but I guess Spirit Shojin is just a little better now than it was before, which was already a really good item on her to begin with. Zeri, max mana buff. Okay, yeah, no one really plays Zeri, so that's good. Laser damage also being small buff there. It's okay. I'm hoping for a Zeri Cannoneer reroll. I get Cannoneer crest at the start of the game, and I'm like, do I even take this? Because Aphelios got nerfed, Graves has other builds he uses, so I'm looking forward to doing some reroll Zeri, because I think she's like a pretty cool concept. She's kind of like the Varus of Cannoneers, because she's both a 3-cost and she does AD and AP damage. But let's move on to the 4-cost. Hecarim mana adjustment. So he's going to cast later, but more often. So, okay, it's fair, yeah. Hecarim's really good. I wonder if his second cast... I don't know. This seems weird. I don't know how to feel about Hecarim quite yet. I'll let you guys know later. I feel like it is better. Maybe it's break even. Because they're saying here that a lot of people didn't really itemize Hecarim because they want to make it more worth it. But I feel like Hecarim was the main tank. Not main tank, but at least a secondary tank that you kind of put some items on, right? I never have like a naked Hecarim that often. But let's move on to Jace. This is one I've been looking forward to. Armor and MR being reduced. And his new ability, Mercurial Justice Transformation, no longer knocks up enemies in an area around his target. Instead, he gains bonus armor and magic resist for the rest of combat. Okay, so yeah, he's going to be tankier, less CC, and yeah, he gets bonus 45, so it kind of makes up for this change here. This is actually quite a bit of a big damage buff, and he does cast more than once, so should be interesting to see maybe like an Archangel's build on him. I think like Titan's Resolve has to be good because it gives AP and it gives him tankiness as well. But maybe he has so much tankiness already from like these changes over here that he doesn't need it as much, but we'll see. Nyla Stolen Shields now properly stack. Nyla Slipstream Stolen Shield duration, instead of being permanent, is now 4 seconds. So that definitely is a nerf, but it now stacks properly, so that's good too. Shio Yu form damage attack ratio is being buffed at 2-star. Okay, is that enough to make Shio Yu viable or Jade viable? I don't think so, because I went over this in other videos, I believe, but the new Jade, they just don't have complementary synergies to a lot of the carries of this set, so they kind of removed them before. Like, before they had Anivia for Evokers and Ashe for Swift Shot, and yeah, those are gone. The new ones are Wukong, and I don't even remember the other ones because that's how unimportant they are. They also had Nico before, so they had really good champs before, but now they're just a little lackluster. Siphon's Rampage Bite Armor penetration is being increased. Okay, that's fair. And then mana buff, that's fair too. Yeah, Siphon has not liked the new set so far, so he was a little annoying to deal with last set, so I don't want to see too much of him, but I haven't seen this unit at all, so I'm glad that they're buffing him. Items, whatever this stone plate is, Radiant Stone Plate, max health regen 1 to 2%. Protector's Vow Shield nerfed, and Rocket Propelled Fist health being nerfed as well. Yeah, Rocket Propelled Fist, I've been saying this for a while. This used to be, I think, like even higher. I think this is the second time they nerfed it. It's just such a good Ornn item. People didn't realize it, but yeah, really good stuff there. Good changes all around, especially this one over here. I hate Protector's Vow. It's built in every single comp and really annoying. Base camp scale scorn damage increase per stack being reduced by 1%. This is to compensate for the scale scorn changes. Battle Mage being buffed. Yeah, no one really uses this. Also, Swain isn't viable. So it's like, unless Swain's viable, Battle Mage is like pretty useless, right? They did not change Swain here. Oh, they did. I skipped this one. Master's Decree damage is being buffed a little bit. Okay, hopefully we can see some Swain. I have a feeling you want to build like Morello, and then maybe an Archangels, and then hopefully some tank item from the Darkflight thing. Maybe the Protector's Vow, that's nerfed a bit. Better Together grants a Locket now instead of a Protector's Vow. Good change there. Locket, I feel like is very underused right now. And hopefully they buff it even, because it's normally an early game item, but a lot of people don't care about the early game right now. Birthday Present now additionally grants 1 gold every time you level up. Celestial Blessing 1, 2, 3 Overheal Shield is being reduced by 50 at 1, 100 at 2, and 150 at 3. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. It's just very consistent and it's so flexible that it makes sense buffing it. Future Sight Gold is, oh my god. Just don't take this ever. It's just cringe too. It means you have to scout every turn and it's annoying. What they should do for this is make your little legend hidden so people don't know they're being scouted. It'd be fun to troll people by getting this augment and then just sitting on a random person's board that you're not going to face just to scare him, but maybe we'll visit that some other time. Pandora's benched here, gold to silver, and then the gold granted is being nerfed from 5 to 2. Okay, I think this is a really good silver augment, even with the reduced gold. I would like this one a lot. Sunfire board duration is being changed from 15 to 20 seconds. That's a pretty decent buff. 20 seconds is a long time. I feel like you just don't need anti-heal if you take that, because like you want to take this in comps that end fights really quickly. So just keep that in mind whenever you take Sunfire board. Tiamat splash damage being buffed a little bit, and then Earth Grab Bag 1 removed. Okay, so they're keeping Earth Grab Bag 2. Maybe they thought that since you get a random spatula sometimes, they don't want you to just auto grab this to get Force of Nature. Maybe something like that. Weak Spot removed. Yeah, Weak Spot's a little weird, right? It's good for anti-heal, but they buffed Sunfire, so maybe things change. Also, like, everyone's building Morello right now, so there's not much use for the Weak Spot right now. On to the small changes, though. So traits, Jade attack speed is being buffed at 5 Jade and 7 Jade. They need more than this, guys. I don't know what it is. They just need more than this. Mage ability power multiplier is being changed as well. Nerfed at 5 mages and 7 mages. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, mages are a bit strong right now. I really like the AP starts. Did they nerf Namzi, though? We'll have to look at that later. Ragewing Omnivamp is being nerfed at 6 Ragewing, so that directly hits the ZYRA comp and nothing else. Swiftshot attack speed is being buffed at... Whoa. Is this 5 Swiftshot? Yeah, that's 5 Swiftshot. Never got to that number, but hopefully it should be something wild. I don't even know what you'd want in that build, because you'd have to run a lot of the bad Swiftshot units. Units tier 3, Lee Sin bug fix. Lee Sin's ability will now properly deal damage at the end of the knockback. There's another bug with Lee Sin. I played him earlier today, and he ulted 4 times, but 2 of the times he didn't do any damage. Maybe like he got CC'd, maybe the unit died from something else. I don't even know, but like I checked his damage chart afterward and I checked the replay. It just, yeah, he wasn't dealing anything. They are lowering the damage though, so that is interesting at 1 and 2 star. Yeah, 2-star Lee Sin should not be able to stabilize. Also, they have the Dragonmancer buffs, so maybe this breaks even, you know? Volibear, yeah, I was about to bring that point up. I was about to say, like, if they buff Dragonmancer but only Lee Sin's viable, that's an issue. Volibear should be a thing as well, because Volibear only does damage, and if he's not being used as a carry, he's useless, right? Any damage unit that doesn't have any CC, if they're not carries or item holders, they're just useless, and that was what Volibear was. So they are buffing him. Maybe we could see some Volibear builds. The build I would go is like a QSS, Rageblade, and Bloodthirster. That's what worked last set. We'll have to see if that works this set as well. Zippy Somersault attack damage ratio is being buffed at 3-star Zippy. Hilarious. Zippy is actually good now. A lot of people underestimated Zippy. For example, on my meta snapshot on my website, BunnyMuffins.lol, in the first week of last patch, we had Zippy in the C tier, but 1 week went by, we realized Zippy's actually playable, so we moved it up to, I believe, the A tier even. Yeah, I think the A tier, but yeah, I update that every Friday, so go ahead and subscribe below if you guys found this video useful so far and want to kind of get notified whenever the website's updated. But let's move on to tier 4. Zaya's Feathers Fly. Return damage is being nerfed at 1-star. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You honestly shouldn't even play Zaya 1-star in like a lot of cases. You should just use like Varus 2 as the item holder until you get ZYRA 2. So this change doesn't really change that much in my opinion. Units tier 5, Aoshin 3 stars will now fire 100 barrages instead of 20. Lightning rain damage is also being increased at 2 star. Aesol is the only unit that we make suck even more when we buff him. That was a black hole joke, by the way. Okay. So they're buffing him. Aesol definitely needed the buff. Augments, binary airdrop, Shyvana, Jason, Jax will no longer receive backline or damage items. Very nice. Dragonmancer Conference can now only appear on 2-1. That makes a lot of sense too, because this is an econ augment that happens every 2 turns, so the more turns you have, the better it is. So yeah, it makes sense that it only appears then. For binary airdrop, I feel like one thing they need to fix is that I have exiles sometimes, and they give me a bunch of aura items, and I'm like, damn, I just lost a lot of value from binary. So I guess next time I have this option, just never take it if I have exiles. But just one thing to note there. Maybe that's intended, maybe it's not. Scope Weapons 1 attack speed for units in the back 2 rows is being buffed. Scope Weapons is one of the worst augments in the game right now. So they might need more than this. Maybe with Scale Scorn, it could be used more effectively. We'll have to see there. Mobile, I don't care. It's just like, oh, match history is now available. Okay, that's pretty cool. My bad. Yeah, I'm guessing they just improved the UI and stuff. Bug fixes, Dragon on too long. Age of Dragons tooltip has been shortened and will now fit better on mobile screens. Nyla's stolen shields now properly stacked. Kai'Sa's name has been fixed to Kai'Sa. Hecarim's rage bar now properly displays in increments of 15. Astral now properly grants ability power in ghost armies. Jade, same thing for attack speed. Soul Siphon now properly grants the topmost trait of the sacrifice unit. Oh yeah, did this do nothing before? If there was bugged like this? That's funny. Nunu will no longer attempt to swallow units that are invulnerable. This is things that happen with if you have like an Edge of Night. Edge of Night is a really good counter to Nunu. Nunu will no longer occasionally fail to cast his ability if he has +1 attack range, and Cannoneer's cannon shots will now benefit from Celestial Blessings Omnivamp. Okay. Pretty decent so far. We disagreed with some of the takes they had. Man. Astral's still going to be good, right? Mage's probably still going to be playable. Makes sense. Again, we'll update the meta snapshot on Friday. Battle Mage, I'm excited to do some Swain. I don't know if it's enough to bring him in order, but there's one person that told me that, like, oh, like, don't underestimate Swain. But he kind of lost some LP recently, so I don't know how much I should trust him. Reroll Zeri, probably not going to be a thing, but I'm hoping it will be. Siphon, hopefully we'll see some Siphon. Shio-Yu, I don't think we're going to be seeing more Nars or Shio-Yus from Jade. And then Future Sight, if you take this, just like unsubscribe, because I don't want that type of person following my channel. And if you agree with that take, feel free to subscribe if you have not already. I know it's like people online are like, oh, like I don't want things to be an echo chamber, but if you take Future Sight, like we're just going to disagree on a lot of things in life. So that's fine. Nothing against you, but yeah, go find somewhere else. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for the rundown this week. Better Together definitely got nerfed. This was such a good augment in pretty much most of the meta comps right now. I'm most excited for probably Dragonmancer builds. I've been playing a lot of Lee Sin, even though they're not that strong right now on the current patch. But it's just because it's fun. I love Lee Sin. And hopefully if Volibear's an option, you can maybe flex between the two. I wonder what items actually work for both champions. The only one that comes to my mind right now is Titan's Resolve. Lee Sin can use it if he has a healing augment, such as Celestial Blessing or Thrill of the Hunt. Volibear can use it pretty decently as well, because he's going to get a lot of stacks. But they're both not like the best in slot items for Dragonmancers. So I don't actually know if that's and thing you want to do if you actually are flexing between them. I think you just want to build their best in slots, because they're the only units that matter whenever you play a Dragonmancer comp. But more of that on Friday, so hope to see you guys there.